The problem with New York sports today is not the fact that we're just run by bad organizations. We are. You talk about even the Brooklyn Nets. Who trades or who fires one of the best coaches in the NBA in Kenny Atkinson in the middle of the season after they went 42-40, I think, or it was 40. Like that, yeah, it was 42-40 in Kenny Atkinson's first season with no superstars, none, no Kyrie Irving, no Kevin Durant. Their superstar was Spencer Dinwiddie. Okay, that was their superstar, and they won 42 games. Then you bring in Kyrie Irving, a coach killer. That's what he does. He coach kills. He came to the Brooklyn Nets, played a half a season, not even a half a season, a quarter of a season, and they decide to fire Kenny Atkinson. Now, you bring in Steve Nash, which is an absolute joke. You bring in, who's the assistant coaches, by the way?
Oh, it was Amar'e Stoudemire and Mike D'Antoni.
Mike D'Antoni. Now, Amar'e Stoudemire, who I love absolutely so much, because he was the guy that wanted to come to New York and give the New York Knicks a winner, even though he had one good season and he completely sucked. And he liked to punch out extinguishers on the wall, which cost the Knicks a playoff series. But that's a whole nother story. And then you have Mike D'Antoni, who is an offensive guru, an absolute disgrace. Never won anything anywhere he went, from the Phoenix Suns all the way to the team that he just got fired from, the Houston Rockets. But not only that, you bring in Kevin Durant, who is so outspoken, who claims he doesn't have multiple Twitters. When we all know he's full of you-know-what.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had more since that incident came out. Now he has 12 burner accounts.
Then you have Kyrie Irving, who says what he says, and you have two morons on a team that think that eventually they're going to take over New York sports. They're going to put New York sports back on the map. Because the New York sports are just so bad. You got the Jets, you got the Giants right now, who probably will slip into the playoffs having a losing record. You'll have the Rangers that couldn't get out of the first round and got swept by the Carolina Hurricanes. You have the Islanders that went finally to an Eastern Conference championship and got completely murdered by the Tampa Bay Lightning. And then you have the Yankees and the Mets. The Yankees that have been a good organization that can't get over the hump since 2009. And the Mets that are a laughingstock right now because Steve Cohen says that he thinks that they should win a championship in 3 to 5 years. And you have guys like Chris Young, who decided, yes, the ex-baseball player, Chris Young decided to not take the New York Mets job.
The Mets had both Chris Youngs at the time, and they were both terrible when they were there.
And by the way, shout out to John Ferris, all the guys that are posting up things. I just have to get this out because I'm so disgusted with New York sports right now. I look at basketball as a complete joke. You have the Brooklyn Nets with the two clowns over there in Brooklyn. And then you have the New York Knicks, run by Tom Thibodeau, which I love. You bring in Leon Rose. I love what the Knicks are doing. I really do. I love what they're doing. Until the press conference. Now, I love RJ Barrett. I really, really do. I think RJ Barrett is going to be a star here in New York. I think he's going to be a superstar. And I understand he's upset. He's upset that he didn't get the opportunity to make the all-rookie team. And he says that's fire in his eyes because it pissed him off all offseason that he didn't make the all-rookie team. Let me tell you something, RJ. Half the guys that make the all-rookie team become nothing in the NBA. You should not be worried about making the all-rookie team. You should be worried about making the New York Knicks a better organization.
Right, especially in this kind of year. Zion was great when he played, John Morant was great, and Tyler Hero was great. And then who's the next one? Big drop-off after that, really.
And listen, I understand. I'm upset too. I can tell you stories about me and the opportunities I had in professional sports, and I decided to be an idiot and decide not to go back and work hard and put the time and effort into what I should have been doing when I hurt my knee. But that's not even it. When you talk about New York sports, and we will get into the Jets and the Giants in just 1 second. You go back and forth, and it becomes a laughingstock. I laugh at it. I come on this show every single Monday and Wednesday, and I do the Weekend Crunch on 103.9. I come on these shows to laugh at New York sports, not to push New York sports in the right direction, to laugh at it, because it's a complete joke. It is a joke. And I love what some of these teams are doing. I love what the New York Mets are doing. I really do. Steve Cohen, the money that he's going to throw in, they bring in May, the relief pitcher from the Twins. It makes a lot of sense. They had some bullpen help, which I said they needed. The Yankees decided to bring Gary Sanchez. I don't know what the hell the Yankees are thinking in their heads, but they decided to bring Gary Sanchez back. They should be worried about DJ LeMahieu, not worried about Gary Sanchez and bringing him in with arbitration. But we're not even getting into that. When you talk about Steve Nash coaching the Brooklyn Nets, and then Kyrie Irving at the press conference yesterday saying that we don't have a coach. We don't have a coach. So let me get this straight. You hired Steve Nash to be your coach. You bring in Mike D'Antoni to be your assistant coach. You bring in Amar'e Stoudemire to be an assistant coach. But you don't have coaches. So what do you have?
Apparently he's the coach.
Obviously, that's what they're trying to tell you. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving will be calling the plays on the court. Steve Nash is just going to sit there and twiddle his thumbs, getting paid all the money he's going to get paid, $3-4 million. Mike D'Antoni sits on his ass like he did over there with the Rockets and do absolutely nothing and push the offense back and forth up and down the court. And Amar'e Stoudemire will just stick his thumb up his ass and twizzle on it or whatever the hell he's going to do with it. This is a joke. New York sports, and I don't want to hear about Evan Roberts going on WFAN saying, "Whoa, the Mets are, the Nets are favored in almost every single game in the first 10 games of the season." Who cares?
Congratulations.
Who cares? Who cares? Nothing means anything in the regular season. If the Nets don't make the playoffs, they're a laughing stock.
Oh yeah, easily.
And he's so happy that the Nets are favored at Christmas Day by 1 point against the Celtics. The Kemba Walker-less Celtics. Irving has been a cancer everywhere he's gone. Everywhere he's gone. From the Cavaliers to the Celtics and now to the Nets. And I promise you guys, Kevin Durant, you could put James Harden on that team with Kyrie Irving. They're not winning nothing. Because you have a bunch of ball hogs, a bunch of guys that need to control the ball and shoot the ball. And it's just completely utter ridiculousness to come out and say on national radio, putting it on national radio and saying, we don't have a coach. That's Kyrie Irving. The same guy that thinks the earth is flat.
Maybe he thinks the basketball court will be round.
And Thibs, I love what Thibs said yesterday. He said he said the whole art when the press asked him, what did you think about R.J. Barrett saying what he said about not making the all-rookie team? He says, nobody cares about making the all-rookie team. Everybody cares about winning. So you know what R.J. Barrett should be doing? She shouldn't be worried about making an all-rookie team or making an all-star team. It's called winning championships. We are here in New York, okay? The last championship we have seen in professional sports, I'm talking about the major sports, was in 2011. That was the last time we've seen a championship. You talk about the Boston sports, the Boston Bruins, the Boston Celtics, the New England Patriots. All those sports, the Boston Red Sox. The Boston teams, and I know all you fans out there that are listening to the show, most of you New York fans, you can't stand Boston. But you want to know something? Boston sports have done more things in the last 10 years than we'll probably see in the next 30. And I am so disgusted with New York sports. Now, I want to get into the New York Jets and the New York Giants. Now, I'm not going to say a lot of bad things about the New York Giants because the Giants are playing good football. They are. They're playing good football. They haven't beaten anybody good, but they're playing good football. They beat the loneliest Bengals this past week, 17-15.
And their special teams almost screwed the game for them.
Yes.
God. Now that's your specialty, Joe Judge.
But I'm not going to get into the New York Giants. I'm going to get into the New York Jets. And Adam Gase, all week, his press conferences are complete, utter jokes. And what makes it so funny is he says that he still believes that him and Sam could make Sam Darnold a superstar quarterback. Now, I'm sorry, and I'm one of the biggest Sam Darnold supporters when he was drafted. I loved Sam Darnold. I loved the pickup. I loved the pick when he fell to the New York Jets all the way when he should have been drafted by the Giants and he should have been drafted by the Browns. Not Baker Mayfield. Saquon Barkley should have not been drafted by the New York Giants at number 2. I'm sorry you don't draft a running back as your second pick when you have a lot of other deficiencies, including the quarterback position. But I loved Sam Darnold. And the last 3 seasons, I don't blame Sam Darnold for his injuries. I mean, the mono thing was an absolute joke. I mean, what kind of 19-year-old quarterback in the NFL gets mono? I'll tell you, a New York Jets quarterback. Only the New York Jets. Only the Jets.
Not even the Browns had something like that.
But that's not even it. This past season, I mean, I remember the game where he hurt his shoulder and he's missed 4 games. Now, if you look at the consistency of Sam Darnold in his first 3 seasons, he missed 5 games his first season, he missed 5 games his second season, and he almost missed 5 games his third season. This guy cannot stay healthy. And when he does play, I wonder if he does know if he's playing football or he's playing baseball. Because I think that sometimes, I think Sam Darnold has his head so far up his ass, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Forcing balls in parts, in plays where you're forcing balls with 2 corners taking you, or you have a safety coming under the pass. You see it happening, and you still throw the damn ball. But that's not even the big problem with Sam Darnold. The big problem with Sam Darnold is when he makes a mistake, you think that he would learn from it. He keeps making the same mistake. And then you listen to Adam Gase in the press conference. Adam Gase is a complete, utter joke. He is a joke. All you fans out there that I know you guys hate Adam Gase and you're wondering why the New York Jets and the organization has not fired Adam Gase yet. And I will tell you why in just 1 second. And I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. Adam Gase came out yesterday and said, I still think Sam Darnold could be a star and I can make him a star in this league. That I still think that we can win multiple games this year. And that I think that we will keep fighting to the end until the season is over. And then when the press asked him, do you think you are going to be back next year? He said, as of right now, I haven't heard anything differently, so I believe I will be back next year.
Yeah, okay. 0-16,
now,
1-15 later, okay.
Now let me ask you guys a question. If you were a coach right now, and you're 0-12 right now, and you're in the AFC East with the Buffalo Bills that are playing outstanding football, Miami Dolphins that are playing great football, and even the Patriots, who are probably 7 or 8 players lists right now of starters, they're in the mix for the playoffs. And you, the New York Jets, are the worst team in the NFL. You. Out of all the teams, the Browns, the Bengals, all these teams that have no quarterbacks, the Jets have a starting quarterback. Sam Darnold is starting. You can't buy a win. You have the Giants almost losing against the Burrow-less Bengals. A really bad team. A really bad team. Doesn't that bother you as a Jet fan? Doesn't it bother you when you listen to Adam Gase go up there in a press conference saying, yes, Kenny, we are answering calls, so you can call the show. It better be something interesting, okay? It better be something interesting. But I don't know if anybody understands what is going on with New York sports and New York football. Now, what are my thoughts why Joe Douglas decided to keep Adam Gase as the head coach right now? And the answer is he gives the Jets the best chance to lose.